Well, what do you know? 8 straight wins for the Philadelphia Phillies. They take the series opener against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The bats continue to hit. And honestly, the back end of the bullpen, besides, that seventh inning, a little mishap, a little rough edge right there, pretty solid. Pretty solid overall. Maybe, you could say it's the first mistake in Rob Thompson's managerial career, bringing out Kyle Gibson for the seventh inning and that whole situation transpired. But when the Diamondbacks, honestly, when they put that little rally together, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried. I thought the Phillies were able to pull this off. And, they did. Rhys Hoskins responded that very next half inning. Rafi Dominguez got a little help there. He definitely did on that strikeout. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. He definitely got some help on that strike three call and that seventh inning. Rhys Hoskins responded very, lead off the seventh inning, though. Moonshot, second of the game, made it 7-5. Connor Brogdon, brilliant in the eighth inning with Alec Bohm making a fantastic catch in foul territory. Corey Knebel, very clean ninth inning. Allowed a 2-out single, but basically a clean inning nonetheless. Definitely very important for Corey Knebel for that type of inning for him. Phillies win their 8th straight game. Rob Thompson as a manager is 7-0 to start his career. And the Phillies are back at 500. Phillies are back at 500 on this win streak. They are now 29-29 on the season. And right now, this team can't lose. This team cannot lose. It's a good way to start off, this homestand. It's going to be, 6-game homestand here. Got 2 more games here against the Arizona Diamondbacks. You play the Miami Marlins next week. Like the crowd that I'm seeing at Citizens Bank Park for, this first game. I believe they said it was over 35,000, maybe over 37,000. So, yeah, Phillies, fans are buying into the Phillies right now. They're pumped up for what this team is doing. And, hey, let's see how long this continues. Let's see. It's fun right now. I haven't had this much fun watching baseball this entire season. So this is the first really fun stretch of Phillies baseball right now. Let's just see how farther it can go, because you do have Zack Wheeler on the mound tomorrow. Let's see if you can make that 9 straight games and take this first series of this homestand. That'll be a great thing to see. But overall, good game, honestly. Good game. And the offense did die out a little bit after that second inning when they went for that huge explosion there. But like I said, when the Arizona tried to make that comeback, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried for some reason. Maybe it's because I was just, confident in the way this team has been playing that they can find a way to pull it out. And they did. So that's where we leave it at. So before we get into the rest of this game, everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to TTP Sports. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, I definitely recommend hitting that subscribe button. It's a great place to be at, depending on the outcome. Great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you are a current viewer of the channel, I'm grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to any upcoming Phillies home game. Definitely utilize that. Maybe you want to go on a road trip, see a Phillies game. It's a great deal. $20 takes away the fees. Use that for parking, concessions, anything you can think of. Great deal. Do not pass up on it. Use the code TTP Sports today for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So the Phillies take this first game in the series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are now on an 8-game winning streak. They win this game by a score of 7-5. The offense exploded on Zack Gallen very early in this ball game. He does not go past 2 innings whatsoever. They went after the Arizona Diamondbacks ace, and they made him work. And that's 2 games in a row right now where you go up against 2 teams' best pitchers. Yesterday in Milwaukee against Corbin Burnes, you made him work. Granted, yeah, you didn't score that many runs against him specifically, even though you had the chances. You made him work through 4 innings, 5 innings, putting him over 100 pitches, getting him out of that ball game early, something that they weren't going to expect. Today, you pounded. You destroyed Zack Gallen out there. Didn't even go by 2 innings. Couldn't surpass 2 innings. You put 6 runs on the board. That is huge. That is huge. And I like seeing that with the way they are attacking these starting pitchers, especially the top rotation guys of these teams. And it's really good to see. That's what I like. That is exactly what I like. Because if you look at Zack Gallen's stat line right here for the Diamondbacks, like I said, he didn't last through 2 innings. He only pitched an inning in the third, 7 hits allowed, 6 earned runs. 4 of those were earned, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts on 66 pitches. The Phillies made them work, and they, did a lot of damage in that second inning, which was really nice to see. So basically, going into the beginning of this ball game, Rhys Hoskins starts off the magic. Second batter in the bottom of the first inning launches one to center field, goes into the stands, makes it a 1-0 Phillies lead there. Bryce Harper did get a 1-out single. Nothing happened from there as Castellanos strikes out and Didi lines out as well. But then we go into this bottom of the second inning. Alec Bohm works the walk with 1 out. Bryson Stott then singles, so you get a first and second situation for Garrett Stubbs. Grounds into a fielder's choice, but there was an error in this situation. Bohm scores on the error because Ketel Marte boots the grounder, basically. He goes by him into the outfield, so Bohm scores on this play, and Stott goes over to, he goes to third base, actually. And then, Kyle Schwarber up at the dish against Zack Gallen with 1 out, works into a 3-2 count. Launches a home run, hanging changeup, launches it into the stands, makes it a 5-0 ball game. Bryce Harper then singles. Nick Castellanos reaches in on a little chopper into the infield. And then Didi Gregorius going the opposite way for a double. Scores Bryce Harper, makes it 6-0. Whoa, Didi going the other way. Didi right now, he looks really good at the plate. Ever since, basically, even before his injury, he was a 300 hitter. For some reason, he looks a lot better in the batter's box since coming back from that injury. It's really nice. And he was making some nice plays out there. There were situations where he's taking ground balls away from Bryson. He's like, no, don't worry about it, Bryce. I got this. Bryson, I got this. And he's making the plays. I'm like, Didi, what the hell are you doing out there? I don't mind it because you're making the plays, but what the hell are you doing? It looks confident out there. That's basically what it is. It's nice to see. It's definitely very nice to see. So basically, looking at Kyle Gibson, really, I thought overall, maybe was forced a little bit too much to go out into that 7th inning. I would say this is definitely a better bounce back start from him, especially considering his last start against the Angels. He goes 6 innings in this ball game, allows 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 on 100 pitches. There were situations where, they got into a little bit of jam situations. He managed to get out of most of those. But then when you get, he allowed the home run, the VAR show. But then when you get into that 7th inning, maybe he shouldn't have been out there because he kind of did look gassed in that 6th inning, even though he managed to get out of that 6th inning situation, only allowing the 1 run on the solo shot. Maybe he shouldn't have gone out there just because he looked a little gassed. Allows the 2 leadoff guys to go on. Brad Hand comes in, and Brad Hand's numbers have been really good this year, but when he does come in with inherited runners, he does allow those guys to score. Those are the little bit, on maybe why Brad Hand's stats have been a little skewed, but still, more times than not, Brad Hand has been more solid than not for this Phillies team. So I'm not really going to, complain fully, but that has been an issue with Brad Hand more times than not this season. But still, going back to Kyle Gibson, this is definitely a better bounce back start for him. I just feel like a little bit, maybe he was just pushed a little too much to go deeper in this ball game when he probably shouldn't. But still, overall, I would say it's still a very better bounce back start. He wasn't fantastic out there. I would say he was good enough for this Phillies team out there. So really, offense goes down a little bit quietly the rest of the ball game after that 2nd inning. Diamondbacks bring out their bullpen pitcher, and basically that's really just anything that's going through there. So Phillies got quieted down a little bit. So then we go into that top of the 6th inning. You get that solo shot by Varsho, making it a 6-1 ball game. And then you go into the top of the 7th inning, leadoff single, and then a walk to start that situation. Brad Hand comes into the ball game, manages to get the first guy out, but then he walks the next guy on a couple of pitches, and Varsho doubles, makes it a 6-3 ball game. Rojas doubles, makes it 6-5. Marte flies out. Then Anthony Dominguez comes into the ball game. Ketel Marte flies out, and then he manages to strike out Walker. And that was that pitch that I said earlier that, Anthony got a little help there. You know what I mean? He definitely got a little help there, but Anthony out there still throwing, gassing 100 miles an hour right there. So Anthony has been fantastic this season for this Phillies team. It's been, he's been one of the biggest additions to this bullpen, honestly, with the way he has been pitching. Then you go into the bottom of the 7th inning. Rhys Hoskins leading it off. Works the count. 1-2 count. Hanging slider. Crushes it to the moon. 7-5 ball game. Harper does single, but then gets thrown out on a, strikeout, throw out double play situation there. So 7-5 ball game after 7 innings. Brogdon comes out there for the top of the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3. First guy strikes out. A lot of great changeups by Connor Brogdon. Smith pops up. Great catch by Alec Bohm in foul territory, reaching over the fence. Maybe a couple of months ago, Alec Bohm doesn't make that play, but nice hustle to get over down the third base to the Diamondbacks dugout. Reaches over the fence, makes a nice grab. 2 outs right there. And then Brogdon gets the next guy to ground out for the 1, 2, 3 situation. Go top 9. Corey Knebel out there for the save. First 2 guys get out. 2 out single. But then the next guy, Rojas, he flies out to center field. So no harm done there. A much cleaner save for Corey Knebel, which is very much needed there. And also talking about Kyle Gibson, there were some pitches that looked really good, though. His changeup looked really good in this game. He was utilizing that changeup a lot, and it worked a lot, especially midway through this ball game when he was getting a lot of his strikeouts. So, like I said, for Kyle Gibson, this was definitely a much better bounce back start. He wasn't fantastic by any means, but still, he was good enough for this Phillies team to get a win there. Like I said, Brad Hand allowed a couple of those runs in the 7th inning, so they were charged to Gibson, but still overall pretty sad. Looking at the rest of the bullpen, Stranfy Dominguez gets the final 2 outs in that 7th inning. 1 strikeout on 8 pitches. Connor Brogdon, 1 inning and 10 pitches, strikes out 1. Corey Knebel in the 9th, 1 inning, 1 hit allowed, and 1 strikeout on 17 pitches. So overall, very, very efficient right there by the Phillies. Looking at the lineup, Kyle Schwarber continues his hot stretch in June with another home run. He goes 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs in this ballgame. I believe that's his 15th home run of the season so far, and that is tied for 5th in, I think, baseball. I believe so. Yeah, he's getting up there in the home run race, so that's really nice to see. I believe he's tied with Mookie Betts or something like that. I am not entirely sure from the last time I saw, but, he's still killing it. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Rhys Hoskins, fantastic day at the plate for him. 3 for 2, 2 home runs in this game for 2 RBIs. Bryce Harper, fantastic at the plate once again. 3 for 4. Average is now up to 317. On base up to 371, and slugging is 639. So I would assume that means his OPS is over 1,000 at this point, like barely over 1,000, I would say. But still, Bryce Harper has been a monster in the month of June. Same thing with Kyle Schwarber, which is really nice to see. Nick Castellanos goes 1 for 4 in this ball game. Didi Gregorius goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. His average is up to 316. Odubel Herrera goes 1 for 4. Alec Bohm goes over 3 with a walk. Bryson Stott goes 1 for 4. And Garrett Stubbs goes over 3 in this ballgame. Runners in scoring position. Phillies really didn't have that many, runners in scoring position opportunities. It was really just a long ball, specifically in this game. They went 2 for 4, and they left 4 runners on base. So looking at the rest of the series, 2 more games left. You're going to have Zack Wheeler on the mound tomorrow, and he is going to be going up against Madison Bumgarner. Tomorrow's a 4:05 start. Zack Wheeler coming off of the paternity list, having his daughter born. Let's see if he brings that dad strength out there and pitches a gem for his newborn. Let's see if he can do that. Let's see that. Then you're going to have Rangers Suarez on Sunday. Right now, it looks like it's to be determined for the Diamondbacks, so we just got to wait and see here. Looking at Madison Bumgarner's stats so far on the year, he is 2-5 on the year with a 3.64 ERA, 41 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.26. Looking at his recent games, so over the last 7, let me see his recent games right here. So his latest game was against the Cincinnati Reds by looking right here, his recent game. So has he not been pitching for a while? I'm trying to see right here. Oh, never mind. That is June. For some reason, it looked like it was off right there. Okay, yeah. His last start was June 6th against the Cincinnati Reds. Lost that game 7-0 in 7 innings, so it looked like it was probably a rain out right there. He went 5 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's lost his last 3 starts, though. So 4 runs in his last start, 2 runs in the other previous, and 5 runs. So he is prone to blow up. He's definitely not the same Madison Bumgarner that he was with the San Francisco Giants. That's definitely obvious right there. So let's see if the Phillies can get to him. Let's see if they can do that. especially with Zack Wheeler on the mound tomorrow. That definitely needs to be a W. And I think the Braves won as well as today, so their winning streak is up to 9 games. So the Phillies and the Braves, they are streaking at the same time right now, which is, they're both starting to, get a hot at the right time, I guess, which is the most important thing for both of those teams. So yeah, overall, pretty good game. Okay, not gonna lie, pretty good game overall. Looking at some guys in the chat right here. Mola petition for Alvarado. How are you doing, my man? Just yes with exclamation points. Jersey Man Mike says, let's go. Channel name says baseball. Jersey Man Mike says, what a time to be alive if we stay hard. Where do you think we finish this year? If the Phillies can find a way to ride the consistency, because basically right now, this team ride or dies by the offense. I know right now a lot of people have problems with the bullpens and everything like that, with pitching and all that stuff, defense. But if your offense can find a way to remain consistent the entire year, if you win games with the way you are built, you could probably still fight. You're probably going to put up a fight. And they've been doing that for these past 8 games. If you can find a way to do that consistently, win games with the way your team was designed, offense, because right now, because we all know this team is ride or die by offense. And they can win these games like they did today, like they've done during this streak, like they've done some other times this year. If they do it consistently, and especially if they take advantage of the easier schedule that is coming up, you can find yourself in a pretty good spot. Win the games. Offense has to chip. Offense has to do its work, like the way the team is built. Your starters will do the job. Your bullpen will be the bullpen. And there's definitely rightful concerns about the bullpen. There's some good arms in that bullpen, though, as well. But if your offense does their job, you're going to win more games than not. You're still going to lose games. That's over the course of 162. You're still going to lose a lot of games. Let's not be wrong here. But still, if your offense does the job more times than not, you're going to find yourself in a pretty good position for fighting for a playoff spot. Mr. W says, never thought I'd be so happy to be 500 again, but here we are. But hey, right now, it's a good feeling. Scott Lewis says, I am feeling more confident with our offense. Please tell me how I can feel with the same with our closer. I am still holding my breath when Knebel comes in. Yeah, at this point, I would be fine if Rob Thompson decides to, make a change with the closer. But I also do respect the decision on constantly going to Knebel because he is a veteran. He's been around the bump. He's had success in this league, and he trusts in Corey Knebel to get out of this little funk that he is in. I can respect that. But I can also respect the decision to, maybe try out a Sir Anthony Dominguez in the 9th inning. Try out maybe a Connor Brogdon in a setup role. Maybe give some of these other younger guys that are doing really good in this bullpen, give him a bigger role. I wouldn't be shocked if they try to go to Sir Anthony maybe later on in the season. I wouldn't be shocked about that. He's been fantastic for you. Right now, I respect what they're doing. I respect that they're trying to get that confidence back in Knebel because right now he is the only one. He himself has to get him out of this funk. And maybe this game that he had right here, even though he gave up the 2-out single, still basically got it out in 4 batters. Maybe he built some consistency off this. Just got to see how it rides out. He's a veteran. He's been around the bump. Veteran's responsibility is to get himself out of his own struggles. That's basically what it is. Scott also says, with Brogdon and Sir Anthony only throwing a mild 18 pitches between them, I would think they would be able to pitch tomorrow if needed, most likely. I would say most likely. Maybe not Sir Anthony just because he did pitch yesterday in Milwaukee, if I do remember that. I think Brogdon did as well, if I do remember. If I go to yesterday's game. So if I look at yesterday's game against the Brewers, to see if Connor Brogdon pitched yesterday. If I go to the ESPN, let's see. If I go to yesterday's game against Milwaukee, because for some reason I do. Yeah, Sir Anthony Dominguez did pitch in yesterday's ball game. So if I look at the overall pitching performances from yesterday, I believe Connor Brogdon did pitch as well. Yes, Brogdon did pitch. Brogdon threw 22 pitches, and he threw, 10-something pitches today. So I would assume he's not going to be available tomorrow. Sir Anthony threw 17 yesterday. He threw, I think, under 10. So there might be a chance that he's available, maybe not at this point with the way he pitched, the past couple of days. So I would assume more times than not, he probably wouldn't be available. You'll probably see Nelson out there on the mound tomorrow or something like that. It just all depends on, Zack Wheeler out there. How deep does he go into the ball game? Especially when he's had, an extra couple of days of rest here with being on the paternity list. maybe that's more helpful than not. And you won't have to, worry about the bullpen tomorrow with Zack Wheeler on the mound. So you just got to wait and see. So, okay, and the audio from ESPN just played there. So hopefully, that's not worrisome right there. Channel name says Big Danner Energy from Wheeler. Channel name says Mad Bum is a bum. Jersey Man Mike says, you think we keep Rob if he has a good year? Right now, I'm not looking, too far down the stretch, but yeah, it's basically what you said. Basically, you just got to see how the season rides out. If this team rides out a really good hot streak and they finish the season with, I would say, good record, if they find a way to squeak into the playoffs, they get themselves into a good position and the team's, circling around Rob Thompson. Maybe they do. But right now, focus it on series by series. With this Phillies team, you still got a lot of baseball left to play. Still got basically the rest of June, July, August, and September. So there's a lot of baseball left. So right now, even though I don't want to bring you again a mood down or something like that, because you have a lot of baseball left. This winning streak's eventually going to come to an end. We're going to, face some more tough moments during this season. That's what 162 games are for. So there's going to be a lot of ups, going to be a lot of downs. But like I said, the more times than not, your offense chips in and does its job like they were supposed to and how this team was built, you're going to be in a better position. You're going to be in a much better position. Probably see more wins than not. So that's like I said. Schwarber keeps up this hot streak. If Harper is going to continue to do what he does because he is Bryce Harper. He's been doing this for the first 3 months of the season. If Rhys can, find a way to go on a hot streak after this game that he had, if Castellanos can find a way to wake up consistently, Didi has been solid. If your lineup just keeps finding a way, if the young guys, keep getting that confidence from Rob Thompson, you're going to find yourself in a better position more times than not. Channel name says, I love your commentary. I'm trying to catch your streams whenever I can. Keep doing your thing. I definitely appreciate that, channel name. I appreciate everything like that. And I appreciate everyone here that joins the live streams and gets up in the live feed here. Always a great time there. Jersey Man Mike says, I just hope we can make the playoffs. Oh, yeah, definitely me and you, man. I feel you on that. I definitely feel you. It's been a very long time since the Phillies have made the postseason. So, yeah, it's definitely something right there that we're all hoping for. We're definitely all hoping for that. See another comment right here from channel name says, any thoughts on the NBA Finals and the NHL playoffs? Speaking of the NBA Finals, I do have Game 4 on the other television right here. I've been peeking over basically during the entire Phillies game, but I think they're on a commercial break right now, so I don't remember or recall what the score is. The last time I saw Boston was winning. So I really haven't paid much attention to the NBA Finals just because it's Boston. Not the biggest fan of Boston, anything like that. So I know Boston has looked really good in this series so far, and they're kind of shutting down Golden State. I saw Klay Thompson in this game is really struggling. So that's basically that. I have been watching, basically every single game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. I watched yesterday's game between Tampa Bay and the Rangers. Tampa Bay up 3-2 in that series. It's been really entertaining so far. Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's see who gets there. Tampa Bay can possibly go there tomorrow if they win Game 6. But you know what? You always root for Game 7, especially in an Eastern Conference Finals series. But right now, Rangers, they haven't been playing good since the first 2 games of the series. They kind of woke up the beast in Tampa Bay and Andre Vasilevsky. So let's see how it goes in Game 6 tomorrow. That's basically all it is right there. As a Philadelphia fan, I kind of hope New York doesn't get to the finals. I kind of hope Tampa Bay does win tomorrow. But at the end of the day, see what happens. If I peek over right now, they're in the fourth quarter. And Boston is currently winning 90-86 over Golden State with 7.5 minutes left in the fourth, it looks like. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely something right there. So I kind of hope Boston doesn't win this series just because Boston. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Oh, boy. The Phillies team is fun, though. Really, really fun. And I love what I am doing, or what they are doing right now. Did I kind of impulse buy a Bryce Harper powder blue jersey? Yes. I'm still waiting for my Castellanos jersey to come in the mail. Got that customized from Custom Throwback Jerseys. I got, the If you remember that full-on maroon jersey that they wore a couple of years ago, the full throwbacks, those maroon jerseys, I ordered that one with a Castellanos on it. Hasn't been shipped yet. Probably not going to be shipped until, hopefully, it says in July, just because it's a custom order type of thing. So I ordered the Bryce Harper jersey off Dick's Sporting Goods, so hopefully it should be here in a couple of days. But because for some, I just never had I don't have a powder blue jersey in my Phillies gear, and I'm kind of shocked. Like technically I do, but the Mike Schmidt jersey that I had when I was like in middle school, it doesn't fit me anymore. So I kind of needed to add one, and you can never have enough Bryce Harper gear. Like come on, can never have enough Bryce Harper gear. But yeah, overall, very fun time. And I do believe getting myself to another Phillies game, maybe in the next series or two. I think I was talking with some of my family members because usually when I do go to games, my family members that are usually there a lot and they're like partial or full-time season ticket holders, I still don't know what they are. They normally give me tickets. And he talked to me this afternoon saying I might have tickets for the Wednesday game against Miami next week. So just got to wait and see. I still want to go to a night game. Every game I've been to this year has been afternoon. It's always been an afternoon game. So I kind of do want to get myself to a night game. Maybe I'll utilize the code TTPSPORTS at SEATGEEK. Definitely use that. Definitely use that. Do it. But overall, yeah, definitely want to try to get myself to a night game this year. If I look at the rest of their schedule too, just to see what interesting series that are coming up. Maybe some teams that I want to see. Because I was there against the Angels. Sadly, I left early and during that whole debacle when, they made the comeback. Still mad at myself for that. So, upcoming series. So, you got these last two games against Arizona. You got Miami starting next week for a 3-game set. Go on the road for a while. Nationals, Rangers, Padres. You're back home against the Braves. Home against the Cardinals. Home against the Nationals. Interesting teams. Some interesting teams here. Got Cubs in the middle of June after the All-Star break. Braves again. Pirates on the road. It would be nice to see the Phillies in PNC Park. Definitely want to think about that. There's also some other like random MLB stadiums that I do want to see during my lifetime. Of course, PNC Park's one of them was in Pittsburgh, Wrigley. I do want to see Camden Yards in Baltimore. That's definitely something that I want to do there. So there's a lot of things there. But in terms of games, maybe I'll take a look at that Cardinals Series Cup coming in the month of July. Who knows? Who knows? Definitely. Jersey Man Mike says, do you think we'll finish in second or third place? It's tough. That is definitely tough because if I look at the standings right now for baseball, so if I go to teams, if I go to MLB standings, if I look at, can I set this to the wild card? I cannot. I don't think so. So actually, let me go to ESPN because ESPN has better standings for baseball than actual MLB.com, which is kind of funny. So if I look at the standings, look at the wild card. Right now, Padres, they hold that wild card spot. Milwaukee's down in that second wild card spot. So it looks like the Cardinals took over first place in the Central. The Braves, they now hold that third wild card spot, and the Giants dropped. So the Braves on that 9-game winning streak is helping them out a little bit. Phillies are 2.5 games behind the Braves for that final wild card spot. So right now, the wild card is the way you got to look for this Phillies team just because of how much of a lead the Mets do have. Even though technically both the Phillies and the Braves are kind of catching up to the Braves, the Mets actually. Braves, they're 6 back of the Mets. The Phillies are 8.5. So they're technically catching up on some ground there. Mets have lost 2 straight. Braves have won 9 straight. We have won 8 straight. So, but I still think the wild card right now is the way to go. But right now, you got to find a way to get in those 2 wild card spots. The Braves, they're getting hot right now. I would assume they're going to be fighting with the Mets for the division and maybe that wild card spot as well. Right now, the wild card spot is the way you got to do. Definitely there as well. Channel name says, have a good night. I would love to catch you at a game some night if I'm lucky. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely, we could most likely do that. Do not worry about that at all. But yeah, overly, I think the wild card spot for the Phillies right now is the way to go. Most likely, I would assume they stay hovering around that second, third place spot. It really just depends on how the Mets and the Braves are going for the rest of the season. Are the Mets going to go through their usual collapse that they've been through in past seasons? I kind of don't think they will be. Braves, they won the World Series last year. They know how to win, at the end of the year to get into the playoffs. So they're always going to be a worry. Right now, this Phillies team, they control their own destiny at this point. You control your own destiny and take advantage of this easy schedule that is coming up. You got to do that. If you do, you'll probably find yourself in a good spot. Jersey Man Mike says, do we make any trades coming up? I would assume so. I definitely would assume they make some type of trades. I would assume it would be help to bolster the bullpen. That's what I would assume. Maybe Dave Dombrowski goes out there and gets a closer. Maybe just another guy for the back end of the rotation. Maybe he goes out there and gets another guy for maybe a long relief type of role. Who knows? Maybe he surprises us and goes out and gets another starter. Who knows? Who knows at this point? You just got to see what's available on the market. I don't think he does anything to bolster the lineup. Maybe he does get a bench bat because I do think they need help off the bench as well, especially when you're not going to have Gene Segura for a long time. So that definitely is going to be, need some use right there. So there's definitely some ideas when you come up to the trade deadline. So there's things to think about right there. But I think that is where I am going to end it off right there, everyone. Phillies get themselves a good win their 8th straight. And let's see what they can do tomorrow with Zack Wheeler on the mound. Definitely be a very exciting time there. Let's see if Zack Wheeler can go out there and dominate for his newborn child. Put out that dad strength right there. So I appreciate everyone here that joined in the live stream as always. If you haven't viewed this video at all, you're late viewing it or viewing it on a different day, don't forget to leave the comments in the comment section down below. I'd like to see those as always. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the painted lines, everything else down in the description below. I would like to see those as always, and don't forget to check everything out right there. Don't forget to tap that subscribe button. Don't forget to check out the link. Use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK, everyone. And actually, before I end it off, I see one more comment right here from Jersey Man Mike. So I'll answer this and then I'll end up the live stream. How do you feel about Bryson? Basically, I was always high on Bryson. He started off really slow, but basically, maybe that could have been an implication from Joe Girardi, not putting him in the lineup every day. He was always up, down, up, down, up, down. So maybe Rob Thompson putting him in there consistently, and he's cherishing from it. I've liked Bryson. I always thought he could be a good player. And right now, on this stretch that he is with Rob Thompson, he's showcasing it. Let's just see if he can hold it off consistently. So, thank you everyone here for joining the live stream. Don't forget to do everything like I said. Subscribe, check out the descriptions, TTP Sports at SeatGeek, and I will